And the other thing that this movie, like, makes this movie, I think, really good for kids, just message-wise, is all the fat people. Things being easy is really not always a good thing.
But the fact that they put them all in onesies.
Or that they're using sippy cups.
You're big babies. And it's like you rely on robots and you do nothing yourself.
But this is the world kids right now are entering. And you look at these characters. Kid doesn't want to be that.
Right?
Like, that's lame.
Haven't seen violence inherent in the system! Help! Help! I'm being repressed! Bloody peasant! Oh, what a giveaway! Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh? That's what I'm on about. Did you see him repressing me? You saw it, didn't you?
Welcome back to Help Help, We're Being Repressed.
Huzzah.
We today are going to be talking about Pixar. Specifically, WALL-E.
Yes, that was like one of our favorite childhood movies.
Iconic.
Which happens to be a robot romance.
Something you can't really do anymore.
No, I would not be down for that anymore. I'd be like, no, not interested.
Yeah, first, a bit of a throwaway comment that we both thought is that the appearance of actual AI, which we won't get into, but I hate with my whole soul, has definitely had its effect on fiction and fantasy. Because the AI that we have is not the AI of sci-fi. Like, they're different things. Like, AI, as the term has been used in sci-fi, refers to, obviously, artificial intelligence, but it implies sentience. It's like a robotic sentience. I don't know if that's how you say it. Sentience, that feels like the right word.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
Great. And then the current AI is not that, obviously. Though some people do get it confused, thanks to the name.
Love it.
But the appearance of actual AI suddenly gives a real life connection to anything in fiction. So AI used to be a theoretical thing.
Theoretical, but you can also use it like very metaphorically. And
Yep.
where it's like, okay, so you can get to a lesson through this concept. You can like use the
have
humanity.
A direct tie to humanity.
Yeah, it's like a humanity of a robot
Mm-hmm.
in a film did not mean robots were human.
Yeah, it was more used to isolate certain ideas or features.
Yeah, or just explore certain philosophies.
Yeah. And now it's a little bit muddled because we have a direct association. So that's kind of like...
Yeah, so now when we do something
Tron
like
Ares.
Tron, yeah. It's like, okay, so now when you make this like a romantic situation between a robot and a person, this isn't actually hypothetical.
Yeah, it's no longer a hypothetical.
I never would have liked that, to be honest, in any old situation either.
Yeah, but still it has a direct association with something in the real world that we dramatically disapprove of.
Makes it worse. Yeah.
But when it goes back to the olden days, like the 2000s.
Ancient. When we were wee.
When WALL-E is being made, that is, like, obviously just an entirely different thing. So that was just kind of a throwaway comment as we jump into this, that it's like, it's too bad that any kind of modern attempt at a similar plot would be like, ew.
No, if you pitched the film to me now, I would be less inclined to enjoy. But
Because of my bigotry against real AI.
Yes, exactly. Because of my bigotry and my, I was going to say racism, but robots aren't a race, so we're not going to go there. But WALL-E is fantastic.
WALL-E is genuinely amazing. Yep. The core of my childhood memories. I mean, I feel like we kind of say that a lot, where I'm like, it's a building block of my imagination, but my imagination, it's really big, so it had a lot of building blocks, okay?
She's like, it took a lot to get
that foundation is widespread.
It's expansive.
Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of pieces in there, but WALL-E is one of them, and it's a big piece.
Why, Lucia? Why is it a big piece?
So, let's kick it off. We don't get a single word from our main characters until about 22 minutes in.
Oh, you count. You checked.
I did.
Nice.
So it's like, I think there's some sung words on the TV.
Well, he makes noises first.
Yeah, he goes, ah!
He like whistles.
Yeah, but there's no words. 22 minutes. I'm like, so how is it that a couple of squirmy, antsy children were so locked in for 22 minutes of relative quiet?
Yeah.
And it is...
Without dialogue.
one of the greatest flexes of show don't tell in a kid movie that I think there is.
Oh yeah, because you just enter the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's fantastic. It's
Yeah,
like
they
you
have the ads, but
yeah, you have the ads everywhere. You have the little robot guy going around.
trash skyscrapers.
Yeah, I mean, for one, it's just kind of stunning visually, which is funny because it's a trash world.
Mm-hmm.
But they do a really good job designing it. And then not only that, they like take care in the perspective, and it does not feel lazy at all. So you enter it. I think you start in like a bird's eye view, and then you drop in, and then you're like with Wally and his perspective. It's just great. It's fantastic the way they do it.
Yeah, and then the way that he makes his little box of trash.
Yes.
And then you zoom out and you're like, heavens, he's on the top of a skyscraper of those little boxes of trash.
Yes.
Presumably made by just him, because he goes by and all the other robots are dead.
Yeah, so another
So it's
show.
just Wally.
So it's like just Wally. You have all the dead robots. You have the skyscraper trash. You have all the ads, and they're all for the same company.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the
all of them.
BNL, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? It was like by and large.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think that's what
By
it's
and large, it's hilarious.
which is amazing. But then you also have him like grabbing the metal thing and like keeping it with him and making his little collection.
Yeah, his collecting little bits of trash. When you're obviously like he dances around to the TV. He's collected like a whole box of just lighters, and he does like just a whole box of lighters. And then he accidentally runs over the cockroach.
See,
and
that
little,
when I
like,
was watching it, I was like, I feel like that's his little like save the cat.
Save the cat.
Like, what makes him likable is his taking care of the cockroach and then just taking care of the trash.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very funny contrast because you have the humanity that left this world behind and thought it was completely, not worthwhile. There's nothing worthwhile in it. And then you have the little robot who's collecting all the little bits and pieces of civilization as something to hold on to, which I think is really fun. So it's one of those kids' movies that has a lot of depth in ways that people don't. Like, they don't underestimate kids by just making it crap or having it very surface level. So it's just like,
or
like you were
they're
saying,
okay with you not getting it all when you're a toddler, but there's more to be found as you get older.
Yes, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funny things was just how defined his character was, like you already mentioned, without any of that dialogue. So I feel like in a lot of modern film, right, you get the girl who's just like, well, no one likes me because of this and this and this, and I'm just so different, get told. And I'm so distinct, her little like speech or whatever. I'm not thinking of anything in particular here. So
Turning Red,
I might be
okay.
just slandering. I haven't watched that. I was like, I might be just slandering new cartoons, but this is just like, he doesn't have to say anything for you to know. Like, so this is this likable little funny character.
Well, for me, I feel like his character feels like a little Disney princess twist. It's like, Little Mermaid, is that you?
Talking to the cockroach?
Because he's got his little cockroach friend and his hoarder's collection of fun trash.
I didn't think of that, but that's a good connection.
And he has his little song and dance as he dreams of love.
Oh, you're actually like so right on. Wally's a Disney princess. But he's
a little trash robot Disney princess.
I always wondered what Disney princess I was.
You're Wally.
I'm a trash robot, guys. Okay.
But the other thing that I've kind of noticed looking in this as we're revisiting is that we used to have distinct main characters. And I've seen people complaining about this. People keep asking that we'd talk about book talk, and maybe we will someday. We
probably should
vomit about it, but
it will just be a rage session for us.
Yeah,
so.
I did at one point hear someone say that tropes are ruining books. It's just because book talk is so into like, here's all the tropes and my favorite tropes and the tropes and oh my gosh, this trope, and the books become like puzzle pieces of your favorite cookie
cliches.
Cutters.
You're like, ooh, I like gingerbread men.
Yeah, and it's just that again, but this time he has scars.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, he has scars every time. Who am I kidding? But
okay.
But it's just like the tropes, but you get a similar thing in movies where there is a system to making movies, because movies are actually not it's a very specific medium. It's you're trying to tell a visual story in this really short time frame. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different variations, but there is a form and a structure to it. But on the flip side, when you get way too into structure, you fall into this cookie cutter world where you just have all your types and all your tropes. And so
it's funny because I think modern movies do both problems. Where you have the cookie cutter tropes, but then you actually lack a lot of structure.
We threw out the structure of the medium and just brought in a ton of cookie cutters for characters.
Yes.
And scenes. But
do you have any specific examples? Because I haven't watched a lot of new ones. Because I didn't want to.
Yes, I do. But I was looking over a movie of Pixar, and we'll get back to like WALL-E specific and maybe branch off later.
We love WALL-E, so we're spreading love, so much. Guys. Look at us. So wholesome.
When I was watching this, I just started thinking about like what happened to our main characters. Because in recent years, we have Elio, which is like anxious kid who's so different. Elemental is very much a finding yourself girl, learning to deal with all her emotions. Turning red.
Elemental? I thought Elemental, the water dude, was the main guy. Am I wrong?
No, the fire girl is.
It's the fire girl? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I haven't seen that one.
Turning red is a teenager with anxiety finding herself. Luca is a teenager with anxiety finding himself. Inside Out 2 is a teenager with anxiety finding themselves. Onward is a teenager with anxiety finding themselves. And I'm like, why is it that and don't get on me, I know that there's minor variations to these, okay? I know that not all of them are exactly the same, but why is it that that's an accurate description for all of them?
I also don't really ever want, I mean, I'm sure there's time and place, but generally, I don't want to watch teenagers with anxiety.
But let's go back to the 2000s Pixar. Bug's Life.
An ant.
You have a
Bug's Life is actually
creator.
Fantastic.
That villain is actually peak.
Like, Bug's Life is actually an elite film that I totally forget about.
Spazzy creative type where he's just inventing at the speed of light. That he's a nonconformist but desperate to actually help people. And then Toy Story.
Kind of weak, but with a strong personality.
Yeah. Toy Story. We've got our cocky leader.
Cocky leader kind of has
with a ton of sarcasm. Who's got the first one is he's being threatened in his authority and his sway in this kid's life. My position's at risk. Monsters, Inc., you have this absolute Chad.
Chad. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Who's just good at everything he drives, top dog, who gets saddled with a 3-year-old.
And has to learn that everything he was doing is not, like, something he should have,
Yeah, finding out he's valuing all the wrong things. Finding Nemo is
controlling father.
Super controlling father who thinks that he's doing everything right by his son. And the son who's instinctively resisting his father. Cars, we've got another hot shot. Being humbled. Incredibles, we've got the midlife crisis dad.
I was like, that one stands out. You're like midlife crisis superhero. It was also a fantastic idea.
We've got the curious but responsible, loving trash robot.
Who collects antiques.
Yeah, no, he's just bursting with curiosity, but he keeps working responsibly
loves
by himself.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah, even though he's a distinct character, he doesn't stop working. He's just super responsible, and he's driven by that responsibility, but he really wants to find love.
He's a lonely boy.
Yes, he is. Ratatouille. We have a cocky, inspired chef. Where he's...
I was like, is that
trying
the rat?
to... Yeah. Where he's
but who
really,
can't achieve his dream and has no method to.
He's really mouthy and determined to get his goal no matter what. Up, we have the old dude. The old grouch who's trying to achieve his dead wife's
this is
dream.
kind of a long list.
I know, but like, just note how different all these characters are from each other.
I just had forgotten about a chunk of these.
Yeah, is there overlap? Sure. But like, none of these characters can be rightfully
Though I
described
can
as the
say,
same.
One of the funny things is, and I do think they're not cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm.
At all. However, I think it was a more common thing to have that someone was proud and had to learn humility.
Yeah.
Or learn to, like, serve others versus
As it should
insecure
be.
and learn to think about
To value
yourself.
themselves.
Yes. We switched lessons.
No, but even the ones who are insecure don't have the same growth.
Oh, yeah. No, because,
Because,
like,
like-
Woody was insecure.
Yeah.
Actually. Because he was insecure in his, like, relationship with Andy and whether Buzz was going to replace him. So there was
Yeah.
definitely insecurity. It's not insecurity is, like,
But
something
the-
you can't deal with in film.
Yeah, but the insecurity solve wasn't think about yourself more.
No, it's not love you. It's actually, like, serve others.
Or like you can also combo attack, and this is something that's missing from a lot of modern ones. Is like Brave is one where she's doubling as she's got all her cockiness and parading about and her insecurities that she'll never measure up to this perfection her mom wants of her.
You know what's funny is that
And
was
so
like
you
one of
can
my
do
like least
both.
favorite ones.
And it holds up so well now.
And now I'm like, yeah, but you're better than all this crap. So,
Yeah.
like, still, no, definitely not my top movie from my childhood. But comparatively, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but
It's fun. I also
my
love her hair.
point- Oh, her
So-
hair gold.
The animation is still
It's
phenomenal.
flexing, and the accents are amazing.
Yes.
But but the point is, you look at this 2000s, around 2000s lineup of Pixar, and you've got so much variety. And not all of those are great descriptions, but some of that is because they actually can't be as concisely described as
Well, yeah,
some
because
of these
it's
new
not
ones.
It is not
'Cause
as
they're
simple.
more complex. And they're all different from each other, but they also all have distinct flavors and behaviors.
Yeah.
So, versus just this anxiety time.
So
the
it's
other
not,
thing,
but it's like distinct flavors, behaviors, and then visuals, which are really like the animation was not like. It was just wasn't copy paste. You know, like now we have our like everything's really soft.
yeah, marshmallowy.
And I don't like that at all.
Well, another
very
commentary you can
squishy.
give to the old ones is the fact that none of them look the same physically either.
Yeah.
So you look at this lineup of characters, and it's like they're all different styles. Like some of them are... Pixar does have a style, but none of the characters look the same. And they're in totally different settings that look different.
They don't have the big snub noses and like the
Yep. See, I will say this, for Turning Red, I know a lot of people have really hated on the animation, but I wouldn't have minded if it was just Turning Red. Because if you have a distinct style for one movie, that's the style of that movie, that's great. But, like, why did that... It was immediately followed... I actually don't remember which came first. But Luca, Turning Red, that one with the baseball playing anxiety. I don't remember the name of it.
the baseball.
Yeah, it's a thing. Elio. And even Soul kind of looks like that too. But
Even the Onward a little bit.
oh yeah, Onward too.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the same, but it's like, ooh, that just got... All of them are starting to blend together. Like, most of those characters could be in the same movie as each other, and it wouldn't stand out.
Well, when I forget which movie they're in, that's kind of a problem.
Oh, yeah, true. But yeah, so Wall-E, 22 minutes in. He does his
get
little
a word.
Wall-E! Eva! And,
Beautiful.
like, that's the first conversation from your characters. I know that the ad talks, and that's really good because
Yes.
you needed the context. But 22 minutes, and little me was locked in
I also
because of
think
how
that
much
was
personality he had.
it was even a good touch to have him mispronounce her name.
Yeah.
Like, just even, like, that little interaction. There's just so many, like, little details that you got in
Yeah.
the film that people, like, just kind of skip over now.
Yeah, his little, like, wiggles of his eyes and, like, just all these little movements.
But, like, him just deciding, like, oh, does the spork go with the spoons and
yes,
the forks?
I loved that. Where
know,
he gets out the
you're
fork
just-
and then just stares at the fork and the spoon like,
Little things like that, or little things like he gives her the Rubik's Cube, and he turns away, comes back, and it's solved.
it's fixed.
And he's like, what? Like,
I
just-
love that she can light up the light bulb and he can't. And he's like, what?
He's confused. But it's just like small little details like little, that you really didn't have to put in, whether it's like movements or just like moments that make it so much better and feel more real when you have two little robots going around. So it's like it's not real, but it feels
real.
Yeah, because of those little details.
Also, I love both of their introductions are amazing because obviously Wall-E, we were talking about how much personality he shows immediately, but like he's picking up trash all by himself, completely alone in the garbage world.
He has a cockroach.
Pretty sure you don't see him immediately though.
I don't know, but yes, you do.
But
I think the cockroach shows up immediately.
Okay, but it's still robot all alone.
It was so sad when he ran over the cockroach.
It's like, ah! Luckily, cockroaches are indestructible. But
yeah, luckily for us,
But I'm
guys.
just saying, your first shot is like Wall-E working, like the good little boy he is, in a world completely alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then your first shot of Eva is you've got this beautiful, shiny robot. And she's flying around just having fun. Like, so happy to be out. And then he makes a noise, and she's just guns blazing.
Well, she's very, like, put together when she's being watched.
And then
is
so
very much
reactive.
the impression. Very reactive, but also, like, completely let loose when no one was watching her. Like,
how fast she is to violence.
Yeah, you sympathize.
It's really funny. But it's also just a funny contrast with the, like, soft, sweet little Wall-E.
Yeah.
She's just
they have a great dynamic. They're very, very different, but it works.
He's just like, wow.
Yeah.
But so just immediately so much character. Even before you can describe them properly and fit them into a box as a character, there's so much personality there. And I'll say another note on that, on just main characters and the progress of main characters, is I think we've commented before about there's this weird shift that we've made. I say we like I have any responsibility for
I was
it.
like, I'm pretty sure I was not involved.
I would have disapproved vocally if people asked me in advance, and it's this pivot from characters to admire to characters you relate to.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we've talked about this.
So, yeah, we've talked about this, but when you look at those old Pixar movies, obviously all of them, that entire list that I listed, all of them have hardcore character growth.
Oh, yeah.
None of those people are without character growth, except, like, maybe Wall-E.
Does Wall-E have character growth?
He definitely grows, but it's just through circumstances, I think. It's a little harder to note it.
Actually, he kind of does.
He got
just
really
like
brave.
A little bit. Because in the end, when he, like, she offers to hold his hand, and he's like, no, and tries to give her the plant.
Yes, I love that. Because at the very beginning, he's just doing his thing. But even that, from the very beginning, he's responsible. But I'm just saying, he is the least. But all those others
he doesn't have much.
And when you end, they're characters you can admire. So when you're showing your little kids, your little boys and girls, at the end of the movie, you want them to want to be like that.
Yeah.
So,
and I think
you want them to be selfless, you want them to be strong, you want them to be brave, you want them to be humble.
I also think that it's better if they have some qualities which you do also admire at the beginning. Film.
Well, yeah, because they need to have potential. That's what the whole saving the cat is.
So it's like you need to actually have
you want likability at the beginning, admiration at the end.
Yeah.
That's typically where you want to go. And that does show with Wall-E a bit. But we've made this strange pivot to characters we relate to instead. So when I've seen people talk about like these new movies like Turning Red, and the defense is like, but that's how teenage girls actually are. Okay. And I'm like, that's not how I want my teenage girls to be.
I don't think that's what we were like. I haven't seen the movie.
Some teenage girls.
So I cannot say this.
Some teenage girls are. But like similarly, like with like Luca or Elio or Turning Red or any of these, it's like, but that's how we are. And I'm like, but it's how we shouldn't be. So movies they aren't.
Yeah.
The point isn't affirmation and relatability.
Because
he just like me for real. Yes. I'm like, I don't want that.
Here's the problem with having relatable characters, right? Because when you see people with relatable flaws, it doesn't.
That does not help.
No, it does not make you change. It's like, haha, you're just like me. So if you're like, on Instagram or whatever, and you see someone joking about like haha, look at me wasting time. Or like procrastinating, or like makes a joke about that. And it's like, and you see that does not at all motivate you to go do something different. It makes
Go
you feel
be
like,
locked in.
no, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, haha, me too, dude. Now I have company. And I'm not, like, it just kind of affirms bad behavior.
But I would argue that WALL-E is a great watch for kids because it is not even a little bit like that. Because starting strong, WALL-E is not just likable, he's admirable. Because he's, first thing you see of him is working hard when what? No one is there. No one is watching. And that's a really
when the
admirable
task
quality.
Is not actually possible for him to complete.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like he's working on something hard, basically impossible, working alone, working with no one watching. Yeah. And that's genuinely admirable. And you see him prioritizing, like, he makes lots of silly moves with Eva. Not always, like, 10 out of 10 IQ.
What do you mean? That man had Riz.
No, he was great, but, like, they weren't all the smartest moves you could make. But
he's like, I built a statue of you.
He was a solid dude the entire time. But for one, WALL-E's admirable because he works hard when no one's watching. Then, like you said, when he's in danger, when she's finally reaching out to him, he prioritizes what's actually important, not himself.
He also, like, goes through, when we were talking about, like, the work that he does when no one's watching, when Eva's, like, found the plant.
Yes.
And he's just taking care of her.
When she's asleep,
When she's asleep, and she finds out later when she has, like,
her
the security.
Watching the video is so cute.
The security video that was recorded of him doing, like, standing in the rain with the umbrella, getting shocked by lightning, and, like, all the little things. It's adorable, like, but it's also, like, yeah, he was doing it, he wasn't getting any reward for taking care of her.
Working for no reward. Working because it's right. But yeah, like you said, when she offers her hand and he gives her the plant, he's like, this is what we're doing. And he's a very strong little guy. And he's strong when he's weak. So there's definitely value. Like, we love strong characters. Like, we love strong, physically strong characters, tough characters, all about that. But it's really great, and it's really great for your kids to see, is weak characters being strong.
At the very end, when he's the one holding, like, the little plant container up, and he's just splashed.
Just a little trash can. He's literally just a little trash can. And he is crushing himself for the mission. And you're like, that's actually really good to see, because when
it's
you're a
actually
kid...
so dramatic, if you think about it.
It is. But when you're a kid, lots of minor trials feel rather major.
No.
And because, I mean... It's like, you're a kid. I'm awfully small. Like, what do I do in the face of basic hardship? It's like, when you're little, everything's big. And so, like, little hardships are big when you're little. And so...
Sometimes good to see the little dude doing it.
Yes. So it can be really healthy to see the little guy doing it. Because it teaches your kids to be tough. And the other thing that this movie, like, makes this movie, I think, really good for kids, just message-wise, is all the fat people.
Actually, the one of the, like, really funny parts of this movie, to me, that just really cracks me up, actually, is the fact that they use all the pictures of, like, real people.
Yeah. And it's like, we just look like this now. This is realistic.
Past, where it's like, no, that's actually what we used to look like. Like,
now we look like
now we look like
marshmallows.
this. So it's like, the transition is now we're animated. But
yeah,
now we're animated and fat.
We've talked before when we were talking about, like, not Bugs Like That, like Planet Earth or all the documentaries, where you like your kids watching things that make them want to do things.
Yeah.
Little kids are just, they're taking in a lot. So this movie of all of the vidiots, the screen addicts in their chairs being, like, just lumpy, lame
drinking smoothies
losers, is really great for kids.
I mean, especially right now. So the mission,
all the iPad kids and
so
such.
It's like, regardless of any, like, you know, AI developments. Actually, I think that makes this movie more relevant, even if because it's just like, so you look at all of the people who don't do anything for themselves, and you have all of the, like, oh, just pass it over.
Do you want to be
like,
that?
Let us do it for you. So I've talked before to people about one of my problems with AI. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, I guess.
Okay, apparently.
Yeah. So I'm like, we already have like phones, right? And the way that's affected everyone's memory. And I know like sometimes, older generations will be like, well, in my day. But sometimes it's just correct. So it's like when we're told by people who are like, oh, we used to have all of these things just memorized, like phone numbers, like the amount of phone numbers you could have had memorized. And now it's like, well, there's no need because I can just save it on my phone. So I have like maybe 2, 3 phone numbers memorized.
You have 3? Oh, wait, I do too.
I probably have more than that. Probably like 5.
I only have 3. You have 5?
Maybe not. Maybe 4.
I remember my junior high library card number.
Look at you go. But like even things like facts where it's like, so if I forget it, I can just Google it. Like I have this little magic box right here. My teacher would call it my pocket computer because he made a New Year's resolution not to say phone.
Never say phone anymore.
Yeah. He's a strange man. But stuff like that. But now we've reached a point where instead of relying on phones for simply memory, people are relying on like chat for thinking. So it's like, okay, you look at the way in which phones and having everything super easy access, just all this information, has made you stop remembering things. People just ask chat, what should I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I see people do this. Where they're just like,
yeah,
hey,
they
chat.
walk into a situation, they're like, phone, help!
Their first question is like, oh, I will ask chat. And it's like, okay, so it's...
Yeah.
So you're no longer teaching yourself not to remember, you're teaching yourself not to think.
But this is the world kids right now are entering.
Yes.
And growing up in. So you want to show them, like, who do you want to be? And you look at these characters. And it's funny that this was relevant then and it's more relevant now. Is this kid doesn't want to be that.
Right?
Like, that's lame.
No, it's stupid.
Like,
you're like this fat guy in a chair.
It's really stupid. And watching those characters, how much they miss out on. When just by turning the screen off.
One of the girls is just like,
One of the girls is just like, I think she's Mary or something.
Mary, yeah, it's Mary and John. You know, like the most basic white people names.
And she's just like, I haven't even looked at the stars.
And she's like, wow, we have a pool?
Yeah, like, and the things that she was
full-grown
missing
woman.
out on.
Like, she's been there forever.
But even with, like, you get that from the people, but you also get Wall-E and his appreciation of all the little things.
Mm-hmm.
And he just loves his little stuff. Or the captain looking through the videos of all the things on Earth, and it's just so much better than this life.
Yeah, getting excited about it.
And but it's like, turns out the hard things, like, things being easy is really not always a good thing.
No, and also what I really liked about it, and this is, I don't know how much of this is, like, for this reason, but the fact that they put them all in onesies.
Yeah.
Really emphasizes,
yes,
I was like, it really emphasizes that part of it, where it's like, okay, you're being treated
or that they're
like,
using sippy cups.
Yeah, you're being treated like, okay, so it definitely was on purpose.
Yes.
Like,
they all look like babies in onesies drinking from sippy cups.
You're big babies. And it's like you rely on robots and you do nothing yourself, basically.
And the quote of the movie is, I don't want to survive, I want to live.
Yes, very dramatic fat guy, like.
Yes, but it's true. It's like they'd stopped actually doing anything hard and anything worthwhile.
Which is part of why it's a really good message for, especially, like, you know, we got this first world kids. Where, like, it's actually very possible for you just to sit there and do nothing. And it's one of those things that I think a lot of parents weren't aware of because they didn't grow up with the dangers of, like, social media or internet. Like, because you weren't raised with it, you didn't realize how much it was going to affect your children. And so you did get a lot of kids who are just online. Like, the chronically online. Like, I mean, a lot of millennials where it's like, oh, so you grew up with social media. Or you grew up...
Yeah, disastrous.
But and, like, you see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
but it's worse now. So,
yes.
But it's what you said about the fact that it was unintentional for a lot of people. It was an accident. Because I've seen Gen Z complaining, different Gen Zers complaining about, like, Gen X, if your childhood was so good, it was so amazing, why didn't you give it to us?
Which is somewhat a fair complaint.
The answer is they did.
Okay, that's actually
because
true.
Gen X's childhood, by all accounts that I've been told by my parents and others, was somewhat feral.
It was just like
the TV messages are like, do you know where your children are? which is amazing. But it was feral. But the thing is, there was a whole world out there, and they didn't have
And there wasn't a
the
whole
whole
world
world on the screen.
right here, you know?
So they lived this feral childhood, and a lot of them sound like they enjoyed it a lot. So they started to have kids.
Made memories. Yeah.
And so they went, we're going to give you the same thing we got. And gave their kids this feral childhood, except they didn't take into account the fact that we have these now.
These special little
These
magic
little
boxes.
pocket dimensions of evil.
Yeah. There you go.
And so they just went, have fun, like I had fun. Except the thing is, as people have pointed out before, if you give the decision to children, they will 100% make the bad decisions.
Or the easier decision.
Yeah, so we got given the choice. We didn't. We had very, very active parents.
No, we did not.
But us as a generation got that kind of feral, like, do whatever you want, except there was the internet there.
Yeah.
And so you did just have this nothingness available to you. Everything and nothing just sitting around.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to be more purposeful now as parents.
Yeah, you can't.
To make sure your
Here's
kids
the thing. I
don't
think you
fall
had
into
to be.
that.
I think you had to be purposeful then, but the ditches were different. The ditches.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes. So it's like, it's a good reminder for kids watching it. Like, you're like, oh, we want to do things. But it's also a good reminder for parents where you're like, you're raising kids who have, well, depending on your
Well, a
limitations
different
on
world
them.
than you grew up with.
It's
That's
a
always
very,
the case.
very different world. It's a world where you can ask things to think for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which really makes it important that you teach your children to think. Because once you teach your kid to think, they no longer will want someone else to think for them.
Yeah, they're going to get offended by the fact that other people want them to let a robot think for them.
I hate it so much, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
So this is a movie that does a really good job of encouraging living.
Yeah. But also doing the hard thing. So when there's this, like, little moment, right? And it's obviously, it's a cartoon kid movie, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's funny, but it's also like, okay, yeah, this is kind of deep. Where you have the guy find the plant. And, well, when Eva brings him the plant, it's the captain. And the plant's wilting. And he's like, oh no. And he's like, wait, I know what to do. And he brings it and gives it water. And he's just like, you just need someone to care for you. And then he, like, freezes. It's just like...
Looks at the globe.
Looks at the world and is like...
And he's like, wow,
hold
we really
up.
just phoned in responsibility.
We were just like, hey, peace out. We broke this. Not gonna fix it.
Yeah, so that's another message of the movie. There's more than one, fun times. But is the fact that you need to do something.
Right. And it's also
like
a
you
funny
you
part,
don't get to see something wrong and not do something.
and that applies in tons of areas of life, where it's like, okay, if you break it, you fix it, but also you take responsibility for things, even if you did not cause it. So
Yeah,
it's like
sometimes it's someone else broke it
'cause-
and left
right,
it, and
'cause
you're
you have-
picking it up.
the captain in space, it was what, like 700 years later?
He didn't break the earth.
It was not him, but it's like, okay, wait, we have to take responsibility for this. We still have to deal with it, because that's the only way
Yeah.
anything gets better, is if you take responsibility for things, even when you did not do them.
And that's such a good message for right now, because right now people are obviously allergic to accountability, but especially cases where it quote unquote wasn't their fault.
Oh, yeah.
Because at a certain point, it becomes your fault. So it's like you didn't start something, you didn't break something, you didn't set yourself on this road, but you have autonomy, and at some point you gotta do it.
At
You
some
gotta
point,
fix it. You
where
gotta
it's like,
you gotta
okay.
step into it. Unless you want to live like this forever, and living like this forever, whether it's like any number of situations, but say it's this one, that just I'm going to be an infant for the rest of my life. But it wasn't my choice. I didn't pick this life. I didn't wreck the earth. I'm like, but noticing what's going on and resigning yourself to it because you didn't start it makes it your fault. It's like you're now doing it. You're
If you see it and
perpetuating
you do nothing,
congrats, you're a participant.
yeah,
We
there
love
you go.
participation prizes.
Ugh. One of the funny things.
All about that.
There's a couple other funny things about the movie. One spot that I really enjoyed that really made me think of ChatGPT or AI is when he picks up the book and he's like, Manuel, and like asks him
Relay instructions.
to like relay instructions and tries to just get the book to talk to
Manuel.
him. And I'm like, ooh, shoot.
We
I
really
feel
do
like
lose skills.
that's gonna happen to kids Where they're like, read it to me, Alexa.
Yeah, so real. Ugh.
I'm like, oh no, read a book, please.
Learn a book. Yeah, no. It's a good one. But so the messaging is good several times over. But this is part of why, I'll add this on, it's good to talk to your kids about what you show them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we've talked about this before, but like it's good to talk to your kids about it. Because a movie can have the world's best messaging and people can not notice and or ignore it.
Yeah, I do think, it depends. Because yes, I fully agree and I think you should talk to your kids about it. However, a really good movie like this one, like we already talked about, shows things you want to imitate.
Yeah.
But it is important to also say like why you want to imitate that. Or why it's
not just, I'm not saying that everybody needs a full breakdown of the movie with their kids every time they watch a movie, but
I was like, because I don't remember having that, like, with this movie.
But that's because we got taught a way to approach stories.
Yes.
So it's not, like I said, it's not that you need a full breakdown every time. And like, guys, what is the theme? Like, you don't have to do that with your 5-year-old.
Oh, but
I do not. That's
no, you
more
made
of
the
an
kids
older
you
kid
babysit.
thing.
Yes, you did that with the kids you babysit. You're like,
no, I
tell
had
me the
different
issues with this film.
No, but the thing is,
somehow they still like you.
We had movies that we talked about, but we also had a lot of movies that we didn't talk a ton about, but we had an approach, like how we looked at stories. And specifically, we had it in our minds that stories are real and we're living a story.
Yeah.
And so because we are living a story, that made movies and books a little more applicable than a lot of other people think of them. Mm-hmm. It's like, if I'm a character, who do I want to be? Who do I like? Who should I be more like? Who should I be less like? And you kind of just got this applicability that a lot of people don't have because they don't think of stories like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a thing that is learned. Mm-hmm. So it's very easy. I've seen, like, it can be actually kind of funny when you see people be really, really into a story without any kind of connection to their lives at all. Not like it should be connected to their lives. It has very applicable things. And they just don't think like that.
It's when people love, like, a really, like, you know, hardcore, like, underdog, like, hard work story. And they're like,
laziest
a lazy
person
slob.
You know.
You're like, yeah, get up. Come on.
Yeah,
like,
you
don't get to watch that. Like,
yeah, well, I've talked about this before. It's like there are certain things that you can't in good conscience admire and not emulate.
Yeah.
So you can't be really into a story where people stand by their beliefs and fight for their faith and refuse to be cowed or shamed in public and then, like, be a wuss about your own beliefs.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to do that.
You fully can. It just makes you...
It makes you suck. But
it makes you a wuss. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I know a lot of people that create a total and complete disconnect from stories they consume and their lives.
Yeah, so I guess it's something like...
It is something that you do have to teach kids.
Build
is like,
habitually.
like, it's not the full convo every time, but it can be like, who do you like? Like, do you want to be like that character? Do you, like, and that kind of reframing in your mind. Or, like, who are you in your story? Or a big one is, who are you in someone else's story?
Yeah, that was always a helpful framing.
You can see people doing, like, you're the protagonist of your own story.
No, Dad was
And
always
that's not always helpful. What can be helpful, though, is you're a side character in your little brother's story.
Do you want to be the nasty older sister, or do you want to be the fun older sister?
Yeah, it's like, because you're not just a protagonist, you're a side character.
Because we've watched The Incredibles, so we know, like, what a sister can look like. And it's like, well, do we want to act like that to our brother? Or
she's great. What's the problem? But yeah, no, there's a bit of a reframing. But I do think that this one is one with lots of good messages for kids.
It's an excellent film. And I would
also,
not,
it's just
I
so
do think...
pretty.
It's very, so it's like, for one, just quality-wise. It's great. Mm-hmm. Like,
good soundtrack.
The film, the animation, the soundtrack's great. The character designs, the characters, amazing. The messaging.
The binocular eyes.
I'm also like, I don't think conservatives in any way should be put off because you have, like, green messaging, like, take care of the earth. Because I'm fully for taking care of the earth.
Yeah, I might not agree with all climate activists because some of them are turkeys who are making crap up.
But having the message of, like, actually take care.
But we are called to be good stewards.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
a real
take care
thing.
of what you were given is completely valid.
I will say that it's kind of tricky sometimes. Like, it's actually genuinely tricky to navigate. But just because people are having a stupid argument doesn't mean that the topic is not a valid one to discuss.
Yes.
So that's something with the green earth, where I'm like, y'all being dumb bunnies.
Climate change.
But being a good steward is a valid discussion.
And like, how should you do that?
You can't flinch away from the conversation just because all the people talking about it are kind of horrible. You get a similar thing with, like, race issues or different cultural thing. Is just like, there can be a valid discussion where everyone talking is being an idiot, but that doesn't mean you get to ignore that there's a valid discussion.
Yeah.
Congrats, is now you're calling to be the non-idiot talking about it.
Always a fun role to play, you know?
Mm-hmm. So much fun. But yeah, it's a really good movie.
It's a superb film in every way. No flaws. A+.
Do you have any things that you would change about it? Because I will say, of course, it's very fast, and there are some things that are over simplistic.
Well, it's an hour 30. Like,
yeah,
it's
and
quick. Which
but
is actually something I appreciate.
It's got kid movie science.
Yeah. Movies have gotten longer? Is that just me?
No, okay, it's fluctuated.
Okay.
So you can't say that.
Okay,
with, like,
no,
full
okay.
confidence, 'cause
Actually,
it roller coasters.
Let me fix that. Movies feel longer now.
Yeah.
Because they're terrible. So I have to sit there and I'm just like, I want to leave. But when you actually, like, enjoy a movie, it doesn't feel super long.
Yeah, but another thing I did after watching this is I started going through Pixar movies and watching just to the first 10 minutes.
Just for, like, pacing or openings. Like, what were you looking at?
Can you make me care about the character? That's the question, because it's
yeah.
When you're talking about things feeling long, a big reason that things feel long is when you don't care.
Right.
They're like, that's the biggest reason. Bad pacing features, obviously, but the biggest thing that makes a movie feel excruciating is if you just don't give a rip.
If I'm not interested in the person you're showing me.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, let's go through Pixar movies, give them 10 minutes. So obviously WALL-E passed with flying colors.
Nailed it. Would you change anything? Because I think I wouldn't. I think it's perfect.
I don't think I would. Obviously, there's lots of things that are, like, little silly, like the fact that if you turn in space,
we're not talking
the
about
gravity doesn't.
We're not talking about science
or the sound in space. But I think all of that's totally fine for a kid movie. The kid mind did not question it at all. So I don't have any edits for that one. This was the golden age of Pixar, and it was amazing. But you have so much affection for WALL-E in that first 10 minutes.
He's adorable.
Like, very effective affection. And like you pointed out, it does have the little save the cat with the fact that he runs over the cockroach and, like, squawks and backs up to be like, are you okay?
See, but I think the save the cat includes the cockroach, but it also includes just his collection of things. Mm-hmm. And the way he, like, likes
doodads.
things. Yeah, his
doodads. He does love things.
Yeah.
Also, him showing Eva all the things. He's like,
adorable.
Behold my stuff.
Yeah, but how did the other movies?
But yes, so let's just say WALL-E passed with flying colors. I'll go back and forth. I started Elemental. First 10 minutes of Elemental. Heavens. Whew. That sucked.
Okay. I'm afraid I did not put that effort in to watch it.
For one, it was, like, really hardcore tell, don't show. But the other thing is, when we're talking about allegories, the purpose, like, the fact...
allegories.
Stories. Fantasy,
like posh
and
voice.
sci-fi and all that stuff has the unique ability to isolate messages by entering it into a foreign setting.
Yes, we've talked about that.
We've talked about that before. So, essentially, the reason that's good is because you can remove all of your emotional baggage with the message. And just look at the message. Like, you remove all real life things. So, like, you look at the road. You removed basically everything. Like, literally everything. And it's just isolated just survival.
Yeah.
And we removed all distractions.
Mm-hmm.
But
except for cannibals, and I think cannibals are pretty distracting.
But
just me though, you might be chill with them, but I'm like a little put off.
But it's just the fact that you can isolate it, and you don't need it to be that stripping. You can do the Wall-E thing where it's an entirely foreign setting, so you don't have any of your real life laziness to make you pity the characters, like all the lazy characters.
No,
you don't have any of that. What's funny is Zootopia even did this better.
And I didn't
because
really like.
I'm not a fan of Zootopia, and it has itself some really bad propaganda in it. But it did successfully isolate its messages. And you can tell that because the whole predator-prey dynamic, you do not know who in real life is the predator or prey. Like, it's not one-to-one with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Zootopia 1. I haven't seen 2. But they've really isolated a situation by removing all association with real life, other than just qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we don't approve of all the messaging. We actually disapprove of almost all of the messaging. But it did strip it of all the baggage of reality, which is why we can actually talk about the message.
I think succeeded in making a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. But that's a little aside
people don't.
from...
I know, but I'm like, people don't do that anymore either. So
true. But
props to Zootopia. Little hat tip there.
The problem, Elemental, it was immediately one-to-one allegory with real life. Immediately. So Element City felt like New York City.
Okay.
As all the immigration boats are pulling up.
Okay.
And fire is Asian. Water is white. Earth is Latin. And air is black. And it was just one-to-one.
Okay, well, that's also really stupid because, like, there's a lot of variety within those categories.
Yeah, I know. But
like, those aren't actually just, like, the perfect... Okay.
Those are the 4 nations. And then the Fire Nation attacks. No, but the thing is, I could not escape my prior judgments as I watched the first 10 minutes. Because every single thing that happened in the first 10 minutes, I was thinking of the real life political examples and arguments.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm trying to be fair, but I can't drop the baggage. Because they made it one-to-one.
I think that might be one of the things that makes something so clearly propaganda.
Yep, is when it's one-to-one.
Is when it's just one-to-one.
Well, the other
situation.
problem is you can't do a one-to-one fantastical allegory because you are pulling in elements that aren't true and leaving out elements that are true. So, like, for example, we're leaving out the sheer amount of diversity within those groups.
You're like, no, all Asians are the same.
Dramatically... Well,
like, how racist is that?
I didn't watch the whole movie. I watched the first 10 minutes. Okay. But we watched...
I haven't watched any of it, so you're above me there.
The white people were like Ohio people. But
you're just like Midwestern. That's what white is, guys.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the white stereotypes I hear are just the Midwest. And I'm like, the rest of us exist too.
I'm like, the rest of us can tolerate spice.
Yeah, the rest of us love spice.
And flavor. But, so... Don't know what's with them.
But, so obviously it left out an intense amount of diversity, but it also introduced all of these extra elements, LOL. Like the fact that fire burns.
I feel like you just laughed your own speech, when you're like in text.
Okay, I do that, like, I've written like parentheses he in papers and essays. If I make
Which is
puns,
why your paper grades may not have
I get great paper grades. But,
but they're probably amusing for people to read.
I've had professors write little smiley faces by my puns, but
did they
not
give you
very
good
many
grades?
of them. But, well, like in the first 10 minutes, one of the things that happens is these little Asian fire people are trying to find a place to live in this big city, and they're being turned away at every door because racism. Except no, because they're literal fire. And they're trying to room with people who are incompatible to fire. Like, the first one they knocked on is a earth person who's got like all these dry leaves over him, and he's
So it's
like, ah.
no, you're literally gonna light me
I'm
on
like,
fire.
you're literally fire. So, especially since like their daughter actually like fire explodes periodically. But I'm just saying, like, the one-to-one allegory made it immediately charged when it didn't have to be. Like, we did not successfully isolate topics of culture, discrimination, in like integration into another culture. Like, anything that we could have talked about with this Romeo-Juliet setup was kind of failed from the get-go because it's so charged with real political discussion.
Yeah.
Even when the movie hasn't done anything like crazy yet, I'm just already like feel myself automatically reacting because I'm thinking of real things.
Yeah, they set you up for not getting it.
Yeah, so that's not great. But the other thing is just that the main character was a cardboard cutout immediately. Where it's like she was a hothead daddy's girl. And that's it. So, like, for the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I have 2 descriptors. And one of the things I told you before is it's funny when you see a character and you're like, immediate flavor before I have a description.
Yeah.
So when you start F1, the first scene with Sunny,
which is a great movie.
You would fail
watch.
to describe Sunny accurately off of one scene.
However, you would have ideas about him.
Sunny. You know Sunny because he was a immediately distinct flavor, and then you build up into his actual character. And this is the opposite, like a lot of current movies are, is you had immediate descriptions provided to you and no distinct flavor.
Yeah.
So, first 10 minutes of Elemental did not pass. First 10 minutes of Brave did.
Nice. Okay. Which is funny because, like I said, not one of my top ones.
Mm-hmm. It's like, girl has a lot of growing up to do, but like you immediately have very distinct setting, family dynamics, and they're not over simple family dynamics. So let me compare it to like Luca, which failed. You meet the mom of Luca, the sea monster, and she's immediately like controlling, anxious, bossy, restricting him from all his exploration and stuff. And she's like no positive attributes. Versus you meet the mom in Brave, where you immediately have more complexity.
Is that the one where she like walks in and everyone gets quiet? Or is that later?
That's Baller, but that's later.
Okay.
Well, I just mean immediately you see her being a super loving mom. And one of the things that I noticed that I liked is that one of the first things that happens in the movie is that the dad gives Merida her first bow. Does mom approve of that? Obviously not. However, mom does not disapprove of it in front of Merida. She tells Merida to go off, like, chase your arrow, and then she's like, are you sure? Like, confronts the dad about, like, you sure about this?
Yeah.
And just that little detail of, like, we don't fight in front of the kid. Like, we're unified, but it's like you see her being a loving mom. You see her being a very graceful lady. And then you see her little elements of controlling, perfectionist.
Well, I think in that
like
one,
prioritizing her own thing, but you immediately have both. You have good qualities and bad qualities.
Yes. Even the way she walks has personality.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way they animated it. Versus
that's another big thing with the old ones is distinct really movements having personality.
Yes. Right now I feel like people like animating spazzes. But just like the one type of spaz.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't really know how to describe it. How would you describe it? Like
relatable.
It's just
it's trying to be relatable. Everybody
nervous,
trying to be ADHD.
Like ADHD. Oh my gosh.
ADHD anxiety combo. That's all the main characters right now. That's all of them. Okay,
Stop.
So I mentioned
you don't
Luca.
have ADHD, you're addicted to social media. Like
yeah, there's a difference, babe. You got addicted to dopamine. That's different than having a chemical dopamine deficiency.
Yeah.
But Luca is knockoff Little Mermaid.
Unlike Wall-E, which is a superior version of The Little Mermaid.
Like, there's a difference between hilarious twist on a character and a failed replication of a character.
Yeah.
So, he's just, ugh. No, that one's hard to describe because I don't like the animation at all. Also, if the mermaids are all that scared of humans, why do they live on the shore? Like, the mermaids live right by the shore.
Yeah, that one just left so little, like...
She's just completely... like, oh no, I'm anxious and so curious and I'm like, go away.
Yeah, like, I didn't like him.
Non-flavor.
I didn't enjoy the movie at all. It was just lame.
Oh no, I'm so different because I'm awkward.
Said every kid ever. Like,
anywho, we love movies that don't make kids feel special.
No.
Ratatouille.
Y'all gotta feel the
first
same.
10 minutes. Excellent first 10 minutes.
Ratatouille is perfection. That is also a movie with
You're
zero
so
flaws.
invested. He is this is like more variation is because he's eccentric and really into cooking.
Okay, no, there is
and
one
very
flaw.
driven, but he definitely bickers with his dad so hard. And it's just hilarious.
It is an almost perfect movie. The one issue I have with it is it made me want to eat Ratatouille.
And it's not good!
And when I found real Ratatouille, it was extremely disappointing.
Similar disappointment to
I was
Turkish
like,
Delight.
There's no meat. It's just a vegetable pile.
It's just the vegetables.
It was a real travesty. But...
No, speed at Remy's funniness is just... He's immediately such a funny guy.
Yeah, everything else about the movie, perfect.
Also,
like,
pretty anti-victim complex, and I love a movie that's anti-victim complex, because the whole thing is that you figure it out. Like,
you deal with it.
You pursue your goals regardless of the handicaps. You do not let where you started hold you back.
It's like, you might be a rat, but you can become a chef.
Mm-hmm. Anyone can cook.
So basically, kids, you can be rats and still succeed in life.
Anywho, but that one is once again just so distinct, unique flavor right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Any other films you want to mention,
I don't want to... Here's the thing. I could talk infinitely about Pixar movies if I'm being real, but I'm going to end on another bad one. Because I don't want to... I don't want to make this like a 3-hour long podcast.
No one wants to listen to that.
This is another movie that I watched the first 10 minutes and I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the first 10 minutes of Inside Out 2. Oh my gosh.
We already weren't fans of Inside Out 1. So I can't imagine number 2 going up.
Heavens.
So
that was... Ooh.
Why,
was
Lucia?
so bad.
I did not join you in this endeavor of watching evil films, so
well, here's the thing.
Up to you.
I already don't like the premise of Inside Out because it tries not to, but it does completely surrender accountability.
You're being controlled by your emotions.
The whole setup of my emotions control me.
I'm like, wait, where's the rational part? I want a little rational dude with a hammer in there, like
and
beating up the other guy.
Emotions,
like going on a spree.
No,
he's like a berserker.
Literally,
mode.
Where is reason?
Yeah, I want a berserker reason in my head, okay?
A berserker reason is great. Like, where is reason? But, so we don't like the whole surrendering autonomy. We don't like emotions in control. Obviously, we were raised on a feelings are liars
Doesn't mean they're
mindset.
all bad. Just you don't accept them initially.
But they're never the boss.
Yes, exactly.
Some of
might
them
be
are good.
They're just not.
They're
in charge.
never the boss. So we don't like that whole setup. But it also it ends up really flattening everybody because Riley's really flat because she's being puppeteered, right?
Yeah.
So she's being actively puppeteered. So she's just not a compelling character. And then all the emotions are relatively flat because they're all dominantly one emotion.
Because they're just one emotion. So it's like, okay, so we have
like
no
obviously they do not keep perfect consistency with that. Joy gets sad, which means she has a sadness in her brain, right? There's another control deck, and we've got this crazy Russian nesting doll situation. But, but like, all the characters are flat. All of them. And the other thing is just, like, it's yet another not what teenage girls need to hear kind of thing. Same with Turning
your
Red.
Anxiety and insecurity.
Yeah, like, what teenage girls need to learn is not affirmation. in their feelings.
Affirmation in
Okay, turning red.
themselves as image bearers.
maybe we should talk about turning red specifically another time because I have so much fire to say about
Okay,
that.
well, we
But
can do that another time.
I'm
We're already
shelving
at an
that
hour.
because I'm shelving that. But the Inside Out setup is like everything's so flat and unconvincing and uncompelling unless you're a girl with a ton of feelings you want validated. That's the kind of person this appeals to. If you feel
Or-
convicted, I'm talking to you.
Or some emotional
But-
men. Women
Gay
of
boys.
both genders
But,
like this
women
film.
of both genders. Women of both genders love this film. But it's the sort of thing that I'm like, no. But the thing that killed
I hope
me,
I didn't offend
killed me
great mass
dead.
people.
Killed me dead in this intro, and this will be the thing I have to end on because I just have to diss it. Is she, now that she's 13, she's developed a sense of self. Is something in her brain.
What?
Is this little like nest of white threads that is her sense of self.
So is it like the
And
age of accountability or something?
You know what her, yeah, this is when you get baptized.
This is- according to some people, not to us. We baptize babies.
Yep.
Not us,
Dunkum.
but like other people baptize babies.
I personally baptize all the babies. But I baptize you. Okay.
Continue.
Great movie. So she's got this like white nest in her head. That's her sense of self. And you know what her sense of self is? Quote unquote, I'm a good person. And that is the worst thing I've ever heard in a movie in a long time. I'm too Calvinist for this.
What?
Her sense of self, the core of her being, revolves around the idea that she is a good person.
Do we even have to explain why that's terrible, or can we just like hang
Doctrine
up now?
of total depravity. Okay, but the other thing is I know that it advances a little by the end of the movie, but it doesn't get better. I Googled.
What does it hit?
It ends up still being I'm a good person, but it pulls in acceptance of all the other emotions too. Like I'm not good enough, I make mistakes, all of that. Like we're accepting all of it.
So you
Just
really,
so you know, little shout out to all the Christian women of if you feel touched by this, you should know that the biblical answer to anxiety is to not adopt it into your sense of self. It's to burn it with fire.
you don't define yourself by your flaws.
Especially not by your anxiety, which
You
is
also-
fundamentally a distrust.
I also think one of the problems with a lot of American culture is actually like here's the thing. I like a lot of American culture and the way
Yeah.
it's very independent.
America.
And in that, however, there's a hyper individualism which defines yourself by yourself.
Yep.
And you actually cannot do that.
Your sense of self shouldn't have any I in the sentence.
No. You need
It can't be I'm a good person, but it can't be I'm a horrible person either.
no.
Because it can't be all about you.
Because it's not about you.
That's
So-
how you end up miserable and alone. Or just a pain for everyone else to be around.
All right.
And with that, we should sign off.
Fairly well.
Peace out.